Hello, and welcome to Shedding the Bitch Radio, where you can discuss, debate, and get advice on how to discover and shed the bitches of fear, insecurity, self-doubt, and negative mindsets so you can realize your dreams and life purpose and create and accelerate the riches you want in life. Join us here live every Tuesday at noon Eastern and dialogue with us at 818-572-2910. You can also chat with us at Blog Talk Radio /SheddingTheBitch or share your stories on our website at sheddingthebitch.com. Whatever the bitch is that's holding you back from living your life to the fullest, it's not worth giving up the riches in life that you deserve. So call in now and let Bernadette Bowes know what's holding you back. 818-572-2910.
Good day, everyone. How are you on this beautiful October day? At least it is in Atlanta. We are still in the 80s, which is a little bit steamy for me. But I'm really excited that you're here because we are in studio today, and I have our guest, Terri Crook, with us. How are you, Terri?
I'm awesome and just so excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited that you are here. I love when I have Atlanta guests because I do bring them into the studio and we get an opportunity to get our lovely faces on camera. What is the conversation? Well, it's only halftime. It's only halftime, folks. Don't count yourself out of achieving your dreams because of the mistakes you made, your age, or your current circumstances. It's only halftime, and you're still in the game.
That's right.
So Terri will discuss how to stay in the game. You can listen for and you'll learn about how to gain peace from financial tackles. Peace from financial tackles. Who doesn't have them? How to use introspection to determine your gift. How to establish a game plan. And how to use that game plan to gain the confidence you need to reach your goal or realize your dream despite your age or current circumstances. So what I want you to, and then we're going to talk about Terri and what she's doing and what's coming up next for her and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll have a lot to talk about. Your rich question: do you have a game plan for your second half? Now, it might even be your second quarter. It could even be your first quarter.
That's right.
We have listeners from the 20s to the 30s to the 70s. So, do you have a game plan for your second half? If so, what is it? If not, listen, because she'll give you the tips and the tools that you need in order to start creating that. And those of you who have one, congratulations. But she'll also give you some things that you could be looking at to make sure that game plan is going to get you where you want to go. All right? So your rich tags that you could be Facebooking and tweeting with us. Use hashtag game plan, hashtag halftime, or hashtag shed the bitch. All right? When we get back, I'll introduce you to our guest, Terri Crook, and we'll get into this conversation about your halftime. We'll be right back. Okay, so let me introduce you to this fabulous woman and this great conversation regarding it's only halftime. So Terri Crook is founder of Happy Place Leadership and CEO of Illegal Crook Productions, Inc. This motivational speaker, career coach, and producer is transforming lives of women globally with her message, it's only halftime, you're still in the game. Terri empowers women to get their second wind by breaking through to discover their untapped talents and infinite potential. The author of It's Only Halftime, Your Playbook to Your Second Wind, Terri provides a clear and practicable blueprint for personal success. She has appeared on stages with renowned speakers such as Arun Gandhi, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Ed Bacon, one of Oprah's Super Soul Sunday conversationalists, May McCarthy, international speaker and business strategist, Kathy Hughes of Radio 1, as well as, my favorite friend, we have a common friend, Les Brown, international speaker and trainer. Terri is currently producing a television talk show to inspire and move women to action to live their dreams, and we definitely want to talk about that.
Oh, yes.
Definitely want to talk about that. Welcome, Terri.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And in the meantime, let me make sure. Just go to terricrook.com and you can learn all about her while we're talking. And at any point in time. And of course, I love my guests that make it really easy for you. If you were to go to Facebook or Twitter and look up Terri Crook, you're going to find her. But her Facebook handle is Terri Crook Media, and her Twitter handle is Terri Crook 5. And then her email, because again, if the rich question isn't addressed or you have a follow-up for her, email her at Terri, and that's with an I, so Terri with an I, at terricrook.com. And of course, link in with her, Terri Crook. All right? You now know how to reach you.
Reach the only legal crook that you are watching today.
Well, tell me, let's back up a little bit, and being that we're both in the entertainment industry, tell me your backstory, Terri. Like, where did you come from to where you got to this point of wanting to help others and help transform lives around halftime?
Well, 7 years ago. Actually, I was born in Germany, raised in Georgia. But I left Georgia after graduating from high school. Columbus, Georgia. I was an Army brat.
Oh.
And I went to Florida State University. Go Noles! And when I finished Florida State, while I was attending Florida State, I was interviewed by 4 different federal agencies, and I got on with a federal agency, and I worked there for 37 years, okay? Now, I told everybody I was 37, but only personnel knew the truth. But I retired in 2016. And when I retired, I always wanted to be in the industry. I would always do things on the side, as far as going out for commercials, movies. And really, when I was in college, I really wanted to go to Hollywood. But I ended up in Hollywood, Florida, right? And so I really wanted to do this, but my mother kept saying, you need to get a real job, okay? And then I had student loans and so forth, so I understood it. I got it, okay? So when I got the job and moved to Fort Lauderdale and started working, I enjoyed what I did. I really enjoyed what I did because it allowed me to help people as well. I was a servant, okay, helping people. And then I moved up, and as I moved up, then the things that I love doing, I had to kind of put them to the side because I started focusing on my career. Now, I made the decision to focus on my career.
Right.
No one twisted my arm and said, you're gonna stay here until it's time to retire. All right, I made that decision. So when I was approaching retirement in 2016, I started thinking about my next. And that's when I said, I need to have a plan in place. And that's what I did. I started putting together a plan.
Her own game plan.
My own game
Practice
plan.
what you preach.
Yes, my own game plan, because I realized it was only halftime and I was still in the game. And it helped me to transition from working, going to work every day, to being on my own and appreciating that extra time that I had to do the things that I really wanted to do. I really wanted to do what everybody else wanted to do.
And so you have a focus on women, but also women specifically over 40.
Yes.
What drove that? Is that what drove that, and or what specifically?
It started with myself. Okay, because every time someone celebrates a milestone, we're like, woohoo, welcome to divahood, and we're just so excited. But at the same time, when we sit down and have those conversations, it's like, okay, I'm here now, and I'm starting to feel warm when I wake up, and or I'm in a meeting, and all of a sudden, it's like, did someone cut off the air? What's going on?
Infamous hot flashes?
Yes, and so
know them well.
It's just so many things that start occurring that you start thinking about.
Yeah.
Your wants, your likes, your desires, your needs starts to shift, and it causes you to start thinking about is it okay? Or, what's going
What's
on?
gonna happen?
And for instance, like when I got my AARP card, when that came in the mail, I said, oh, now this just takes the cake.
Well, and it starts coming in the mail, I think, when you're in your mid to late 40s.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
are you kidding me?
Yes, and I'm like, I haven't even gotten to 50, and I'm getting this card in the mail. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it's reminding me that I'm approaching 50,
Right. Right.
And so, but when I turned 50, I picked up that card and I looked on the packet. I looked at the benefits.
Yes.
And I said, "Oh, do you mean I can
Right.
get a discount when I go to the movie?" So
All of a sudden, 50 is looking pretty
all of a
good.
sudden, wait, but I take the card, right? And I have it in my jacket, and I'm like, when I get there, I'm like, "Do you all take these?" And I said, "Okay, mentally, I gotta get there, okay?
Right.
I gotta get there."
Right.
And so that's one of the things I started working on, because I said, you'll be missing out on a lot of things because of your mindset.
Yes. Say that again.
You will miss out on a lot of things because of your mindset.
Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't matter if you're 50 plus or if you're 20, 30, or 40 plus.
That's right.
So don't, for those of you listening in our younger, demographic, don't go turning off the radio or your podcast or your YouTube channel just yet, because all of this applies to us. Because we all, now that we are in that category, we wish we knew and had that mindset, whether or not you have it at 20, but at 30, at 40, even in, at the early 50 mark.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have sat down and asked myself, what would you tell your 20-year-old self today?
Yes.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And I thought about it, and I said, the one thing that I would tell my 20-year-old self, and that is to be your authentic self, to be you. Mm-hmm. Because when I was 20, it was all about what everybody else thought.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And it wasn't what I really liked. It was more or less like what looked correct.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Are you kidding me? I did it until I was 45 and I started shedding my bit. Hell, I was living for everybody else but me. Thinking I was living for me, but then I realized, well, wait a minute, everything I've been doing, whether, it was clothes or cars or house or job, although I always loved my job, so I shouldn't say that, but everything I was doing was to impress and make you jealous of what I had. That's a whole other, we'll have that conversation. That's a whole other year's worth of radio, by the way. So very cool, because it is a, not only because the baby boomers are a huge demographic.
Yes, we are.
It's more so just that, that group 40 plus really need as much support and resources, and people like yourself giving them those things to get them to really get to a point where they let go of all that crap.
Absolutely.
No offense, but
absolutely.
And really do start focusing on themselves. Now, okay, so tell me a little bit about your book. Well, you can tell me a lot about your book, but so it's only halftime. And for those of you that will be watching this on our YouTube channel, I'm showing the book. But it's only halftime, your playbook to your second wind, a life planning guide and journal, which I'm a journal writer since I was like 8. So I love anything, any books that also provide a means of doing some work. So give us an idea of what this is all about and how they can use it. And of course, just go to Amazon and look for it. It's only halftime. You can also go to terricrook.com and you can buy it right there. And by the way, if you do it from terricrook.com, you'll get an autographed copy like I did. Isn't that fabulous? I'm so excited.
And you can also, even if you ordered it through Amazon, because I've worked out a deal with Amazon where I can also send an autograph.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes.
Gosh, that wasn't around when I published my book. I'm a little offended. No. Okay, so tell us about the book.
Well, the book, It's Only Halftime, came about due to, well, first of all, let me explain what halftime is, okay? And I want to take you all back to Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots.
You're gonna make us cry. Are you gonna make us cry?
No, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Because yes, I did cry because I was rooting for Atlanta. And the thing about it was, I was with my family and we were just having a ball. I mean, we were so ecstatic to be there at Super Bowl. I mean, the game of all games, okay? And so here we are, our team was there and we're rooting and we were winning. Okay, so during halftime, we were so excited. I'm already running around doing the victory lap, boy, Falcons, 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 you know, doing chanting the chant to the other team, you know, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Hey, hey, you're ugly.
Oh,
okay,
that's rude.
Yeah, well, that's
calling you out.
You know, okay, so we were having a good time.
I gotta learn that for the evening.
And then all of a sudden, after halftime, when the Patriots came out of the locker room, I looked at Tom Brady and he did not have the same look that he had when he went into that locker room. When he came out and he was looking at his receivers and they were like this, I got you.
Yeah, laser focused.
I got you. We're gonna do this. And all of a sudden, it wasn't about the audience, the noise from the audience, the cheers from the Falcons. They had blocked all of that out, okay? They got out there and they scored. Not once, not twice. I mean, they just kept scoring, went into double overtime and won the game. And we were sitting there like this. Just could not believe, okay? And I said, you see, that's a good example. When people have counted you out, just remember, it is only halftime. You're still in the game.
I did not know at all that that's where it kind of stemmed from, and that's fabulous because it's fabulous because it is exactly kind of what happened, and it is very applicable and relevant to lives. Like, you know, there's nothing more that just gets my goat than if you watch like The Voice or American Idol.
Yes.
And here's these 18, 19, 20-year-olds saying, this is my last opportunity. This is the last chance I have to run. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you're going to be 40 different people by the time you're 40 and 50 years old. Yes. Trust me, you're not out of the game. Yes. Even, you know, and then you have the 40 or 50-year-olds that, you know, get out there and do the same. And even, but your point is this, too. You could be 70 and still...
Exactly.
Still change your game plan and achieve what it is you want, right?
You know, when now you asked what inspired that. Now, that was just an example. The inspiration actually came from my parents.
Aww.
Yes, I have to share that. That was the inspiration for this because back in the 90s, my mother was diagnosed with cancer in the knee. And for a long time, they did experimental surgery and they put a rod in her knee. After 10 years of that, she outlived the rod and they had to amputate her leg. And it was like when they got her to Walter Reed Hospital, because again, I was, you know, as I said, my father was military, got her to Walter Reed and made the announcement that they were going to have to amputate because they said to her, you have the same type of cancer that one of the Kennedy sons had. And they were able to keep it for 10 years, but now they needed to amputate. Mm-hmm. And my mother was quite young, okay? And so I remember taking that last walk with her. But as she did, and she cried, and I let her cry whatever pain she was going through for that moment. But I didn't allow her to stay in that moment once the leg was removed. And after that time, through the support of the family and her own changing of her mindset, okay, she decided that she had another chance at life, that it was only halftime and she was still in the game.
That's awesome.
And then there was another inspiration. And this came from a man that in 1956, he was standing there from winning a fight, okay, a boxing match. This was the qualifications for the Olympics. He won, okay, but he lost because he had broken his hand. Because once you break your hand, you can't qualify to move on. So he was standing there faced with, should I continue on? Which meant Olympics only comes around 4 years, every 4 years.
Sure.
He was already in his late 20s. So if he continued on, he would be 31 years old. That's considered old, an old athlete, okay?
Right, especially back then.
Back then, okay? But he decided to keep going because he said it was mind over matter.
Right.
Okay? And he too believed it was only halftime. And what happened? In 1960, he stood there in the middle of Muhammad Ali and Skeeter McClure, and all three received the Olympic boxing gold medal.
Nice.
My dad, Edward Crook Jr.
Oh,
okay?
cool.
Yes.
She knows how to tell a story, doesn't she? I'm sitting here thinking this person's relevant to her in some way, shape, or form. And I knew it wasn't Muhammad, but who was it? That's awesome.
Yes. So
you gotta love stories about parents and the influence that they have on your lives and all that kind of good stuff. My heart is warm. My heart is warm. All right. It is halftime here too, right now. We have to take a break, and when we get back, trust me, we have a lot more to talk about with Terri Crook. I want you to go to terricrook.com. I want you to pick up a copy of her book. It's only halftime. You can also get it autographed when you do that. And I want you to just stay there on terricrook.com and check out all the resources and the services that she provides and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're having a fabulous halftime conversation with author, coach, you name it, motivational speaker, and Terri Crook. And we're talking about how can you just leverage halftime at any stage of your life, by the way. Take a deep breath, come up with a new game plan, and put that in place so you can continue to achieve your goals and dreams.
And let me say, you said spiritual leader, and I just heard my friends going, what?
Well, you know what I mean. I mean more from a
But you're right. Because I have people to go within.
Right.
And that's where the introspection
and that's the word that actually got slipped up and I called it spiritual when I meant introspection.
Yes.
But yes, you're absolutely right. So that's a good segue to as well, because I do want to ask you about introspection. And I wanted to ask you about kind of how can we find that, because so many of us seek it without even really knowing that that's what we're doing.
Right.
So give us some ideas, and I want you to also then tag into that, because I want to make sure we get it in before the hour is over. The peace part.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to dealing with anything, you talk about financial tackles, but when it comes to any type of tackle, how can we use introspection to find that peace and harmony within ourselves?
Well, first of all, the introspection is so important because a lot of us are not always in our happy place, okay? And that's where I found myself when I turned 40. I wasn't in my happy place. And yeah, I was doing things that I enjoyed, but I wasn't in that happy place. I was basically doing a lot of things that were expected of me, okay? And so it wasn't just with my parents, because yeah, they had an expectation, but you know, the people that you were around in your community and so forth, and they knew I had this job, this government job, and my mother was like, I know you're not getting ready to quit that good government job to go be on stage. You could stay home and be on stage. When I went off to school and declared that was my major at first. So, but the thing is, what I tell people, especially if you have reached a milestone, sit down and think about what it is that you absolutely love doing. Something that brings you joy, that you don't even have to think about. It comes so natural to you, okay? Mm-hmm. And that it wakes you up in the morning. It gets you going. It's when you lie down at night, it's hard to even to go to sleep, because all you can think about is that joy, that joyful feeling of the next day when you're able to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what if because a lot of people take their joys, their true passions, they take them for granted, and therefore they don't seem like a spark of light. They just seem like, oh, that's just, they take kind of like just, well, that's just who, what I do. How can they make sure they put a spotlight on those things?
Okay, sit down and write down everything that you love doing, and then look at that list and decide which one rises above the other. Okay.
Rises above in your
soul,
heart,
in your heart.
Right.
Okay, and your heart and your mind will connect. All right, but what is it that just drives you the most out of everything that you've written? That is the gift. And usually it's that same gift that most people have recognized in you and have said, you are so good at this, okay? But you have just taken it for granted, you've negated it, you really haven't paid a lot of attention to it, but others have probably recognized it before you.
Yeah.
So, and I tell you that because when I started speaking, my college friends would say to me, oh, we knew that you were going to be a speaker way back when. And I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, you always did. And even when through my sorority, at the time, we call it membership intake now, but at the time I was pledging. And so I would always be the one that could come up. I could speak quickly on my feet and come up and say something, give a reason why I did something, okay? And everybody was like, wow, you think fast on your feet. But I didn't realize that was a gift.
Right,
okay?
right.
A gift to inspire.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I didn't realize. So take the time to sit down to do that, because a lot of times we don't. We're so busy, especially as women, we're so busy, we're nurturers. We're so busy taking care of everyone else, we fail to take care and look
of ourselves.
Yes.
So they take that, and that's introspection, right?
That's right.
To really take time and really knowing who you are. Mm-hmm. Then what does this game plan look like?
Then you complete a game plan, and what I call it a personal development plan. And in my book, I have a copy of one, okay? I have several copies, okay? Because what happens, your game plan will change, okay? And it will change just like, think about like in football. During the first half of the game, the Patriots, when they went into the game, they had a game plan. Well, obviously that game plan wasn't working for them during the first half. So during halftime, they adjusted their game plan. Right. And came back out, okay? Right. So what you do, you sit down with your personal development plan and you come up with what is your long-term goal, what is your short-term goal. And when I look at goals, I'm talking about something, it goes back to your happy place. Something that you love doing that brings you joy, okay? So that would be your long-term goal of what it is that you want to do. But your short-term goal is, what do I need to do to get there, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you write out your activities. What are you going to do? Now, what a lot of people do when they're writing out their activities, they write like 10 or 15 things, and it's not even something that is realistic that they can actually do. So I say, don't be afraid to just write one thing that you will do. And then after you write it out, what you're going to do, put a deadline to it, and then find you an accountability partner. Someone who doesn't say yes to you all the time, okay? Right. Someone that's going to be true to you and say, you said you were going to do this on this particular date. Where are we with this? Mm-hmm. Okay? And that will help you stay on the mark. And then once you do it, celebrate. Check it off and celebrate.
Gotta celebrate.
And then, that's right, good times come on. And then after you do that, then you go back and you write another activity. And before you know it, you are reaching you have reached your short term and you have reached your long term goal.
Right, right. And I love the fact that you suggest that they don't get overwhelmed by the laundry list of the things that they need to do.
That's right.
Because that's what cripples most people is they just get that overwhelm.
Yes.
And so if you just look at the fact that there's one thing that needs to get done in order for you to achieve that short-term goal, then focus on that one thing. I love that.
I want to go back to the peace with the financial.
Yes,
finding the peace. I want to share with you how I found the peace. Back in 2006, I had, while I was working for a government agency, I had decided to step out and apply for another position. Well, I was living in Fort Lauderdale. That position was here in Atlanta, which meant it was going to be a big promotion for me, okay? And I mean, I was feeling so good. And so what I did, I started celebrating before I crossed the goal line. Okay, you know, in football, how they run it with the ball, getting to the goal, and then all of a sudden they start looking back and they started just dancing with it because it's like, oh, I'm getting ready to score. And they didn't realize there was someone on their heels and they bring them down right before they got to the score. Well, that's what happened to me. Okay,
no, ouch.
I got tackled because what happened, I started celebrating. I came up to Atlanta. I brought this 2-acre property to build a home for me and my mom, okay, because my father had transitioned, and my mother always had this dream. She wanted me to relocate to Georgia, so I said, this is the opportune time to do it. I bought this land. I went out and bought the largest Mercedes besides Maybach that they make. My mother used to say to me, you look like a dot in that car, it's so large. And I got that car, and but I still had my home in Fort Lauderdale. So the government was going to pay for my moving expenses. Well, what happened, this was 2008.
Okay. Oh, right up. Yeah.
Right, because I got the promotion in 2006 and they gave me 2 years to get it together and 2008, the bottom fell out. So I went to the table and I was really excited because my home was valued at one price just yesterday, but that day the government said, ouch. Oh no, this is how much.
Ouch.
And I was just in awe. So I couldn't move. And here I was stuck with 2 mortgages and a car note that resembled a mortgage. Okay? So what did I start doing? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. I started building up all my credit cards and, trying to make the payments. And then I found myself digging a deeper and deeper hole for me. So I went to see a bankruptcy attorney. And I'm telling you, I was so embarrassed because here I was. I was in management on the job.
Sure.
Here I am, I'm helping other people, but I couldn't help myself. And then I had a good friend to say to me, why don't you sit down and call your creditors yourself instead of filing bankruptcy? This is advice you give other people.
Why don't you take it yourself?
Exactly. But when it's happening to you, you can't even think. First of all, you're in shock because you're trying to figure out, how did I allow this to happen?
Right.
So so after that advice, I pulled my credit report. Now, after 3 days of pulling my credit report, I put them all in order. I put them in the order of the amount of the interest rates. Well, they all had the same high interest rate, so then I put it in order of how much the balances were. I did the smallest to the largest because as I was getting rid of the small ones, it felt so good. And I called and talked to them and let them know what I was doing, how I was going to pay it, and they worked with me. And then I did I sold my home through a short sale. Okay. And a short sale is when it's less than what the value is. But I had to get permission from the bank, and so I was able to do that.
So you just easily just
made a list,
and
I had a plan.
You had a
game plan.
You had a plan, and you engage people, all the people involved, so they can help you along that.
And I got an accountability plan.
And you got an accountability plan.
And I celebrated. And so what I did this. I did P, I put together a plan. E, I started evaluating, did I need a professional? Okay? I looked at my circumstances, and I did. I had to get an attorney who handled real estate. so that he could help me with the property in Atlanta and the property down in Florida, okay?
Right.
So that's what you have to do, because sometimes you don't know all the answers, okay? So evaluate if you need an expert. Then I acquired accountability partner. Once I put my plan together, I had an accountability partner because I need to have that person to stay on top of me and to celebrate my successes. Because it did a lot for me. It built up my confidence in knowing that one day I was coming out of this.
But at the same time, so let's also make sure that you don't have to have a financial crisis, but she did. That was her journey, to then see how PEA can help you. You want to plan for anything.
That's right.
Even, the high notes, so to speak.
That's right.
So, whether it's a financial situation or it's you just want to switch careers, maybe you're looking to go, someone this morning talked to me about wanting to leave corporate and start their own job, whatever the case might be, her plan, her game plan, and her PEA plan,
personal development plan,
can help you. Oh, I'm sorry, PEA.
Personal development plan, PDP. There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, that's all right.
PEA.
That's right. That's right.
Can help you kind of put that together and craft that.
That's right.
And keep in mind, her book, It's Only Halftime, is a life planning guide and journal. So you actually get to get that kind of coaching, via book, or even you reach out to
me because I can give some sessions on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can also be journaling it. And I speak to my audience a lot about the fact that I've journaled since I was 8.
Yes.
Now, granted, it was a lot of, just kind of what was going on in my life and purging as well as enhancing, but it turned eventually into, they know I'm an anal goal setter and tracker and goal achiever and measurer and all that kind of good stuff.
But journal brings clarity, and so that's why it's very good to journal.
Right, it does. It brings tons of clarity.
Yes.
And not only clarity to your thoughts, but also just allowing you to purge kind of what you might be hanging on to that you really need to kind of let go.
Exactly.
We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to ask Terri about some additional tips and advice that she can leave you with, so you can leverage and optimize your halftime or wherever you might be in your life, and so you can achieve the goals that you have. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm talking to Terri Crook all about halftime, and it's only halftime, and you have now a guidebook to how you can make your second half as rich and as prosperous as you want it to be. And her book, It's Only Halftime, is a life planning guide and journal that you could be leveraging. But I also want you to go to terricrook.com and check out how you can connect with her, to even get one-on-one coaching as well, and the other resources she provides. But very quickly, I want to kind of get some clarity around the fumbling that I did before we went on to break. So could you repeat your peace formula again as to what each one of those means?
Okay, in order to get over your financial fumbles or any fumbles in life that you're going through, to get peace, remember, put together a plan, the P. Evaluate if you need experts, the E. A, get an accountability partner. C, consolidate, condense, and that way you can build up your confidence in what it is that you need to do. And then E, expect a full recovery, an exciting win. Because if you don't adjust your mindset in believing that it's only halftime, you're still in the game, you will not win. Okay?
Woo-hoo! All right! I'm all geared up for this biggest football game. No, seriously. Now, that's a good segue into what I also wanted to make sure we talked about. And you have a new television show. That you're working on.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, hopefully you're watching this on our YouTube channel, but even from a verbal perspective through our radio broadcast, you can feel the energy and the opportunity that she would bring to a television show. So tell us about.
This show, it's called It's Only Halftime with Terri Crook, is geared towards women age 40 and above who have put their dreams to the side because they got married, they had kids, they focused on their careers, or you were lucky enough to take care of your parents, and that's something that I did as well. So now that all of that has gone, okay, now it's your time. it's halftime. And so the show is going to bring women on to share their halftime reports, those who are working on their dreams, and then there are going to be other women that come on that show how they became the MVPs of their lives and won by living their dreams, getting to their happy place and achieving their goals because they believed that it was only halftime. And so the show is moving. It's going to be inspiring and moving women to action, to do something, to get out there and get to your happy place.
Now, so I envision, is it going to be first women that don't have a plan, and you're going to help them with a plan, like even kind of reality based, or is this more maybe you've already been working with them, off to the side, and now they're coming to share their experience?
It's going to be a combination of both. But when you first see the show, we're going to bring on halftime reports of those women that I have helped. Yes, that I have helped.
Nice.
Yes. So it's so exciting. We're going to have a female DJ. It's going to be full of energy and excitement.
Yes. The energy and the excitement that the show's going to have. So you're definitely going to want to see it. Now, what is the next stage? Okay,
so on November 15th, we're going to have there's going to be a pitch summit. On November 15th, there's going to be a pitch summit. And the reason why this is so critical, this is going to be an opportunity for people to come out who have a script, a storyline, reality show, whatever that you want to pitch it to with executives from the industry.
Right.
This will be an opportunity for you to come out and do so and mingle with them and learn about the industry. But more importantly, how often do you get an opportunity to be right in front of industry execs about your project?
Well, okay, we're going to talk about that, but what's the next stage for your television show?
So for me, we're going to be screening a Hollywood movie, and before the Hollywood movie, I'm going to be showing my sizzle. I get so excited because I'm so excited that this is something that we can help people, particularly those who believe that it's only halftime, you're still in the game.
Right.
But I will be able to show the sizzle of my show. I will be showing the sizzle, so you'll get a chance to get a sneak peek of what it's all about.
And like I said, majority of you are around the world, actually. However, many people from all over the country specifically will come in for this Atlanta Pitch Summit. I've been involved with it for quite some time. Actually, I got into the entertainment industry as a result of this event by accidentally going and pitching my book. And today we have, not only the radio show, but a film and script and whatnot. So, for everyone out there in the industry around the world, should you have an opportunity to November 15th to the 17th, the Atlanta Pitch Summit, and you can go to atlantapitchsummit.com in regards to it. So the 15th will be movie screenings and, of course, showing Terri's sizzle reel regarding her new show. The 16th is workshops and panels all day long. And they're going to be workshops that you're going to actually be able to take this content and leverage it within your career. Now, I want to note something.
90.
Some of you don't have a film or a script, but maybe you've had an idea about it. You're going to want to attend. And then on the 17th is a whole day of pitching executives from studios and networks.
And they're going to have Skyping too.
Yeah, and they're going to be Skyping. So November 15th and 17th, go to atlantapitchsummit.com for more information. Reach out to me or Terri, and we'll be good to go. All right, so thank you, Terri. I appreciate you being here. It's been fabulous.
Great opportunity.
It's been fabulous. And as I mentioned, next week is Elliot Katz. We'll be talking with him, and then we talk with Dallas Woodburn before we finish off the month and get into November with our Ask Bernadette episode. I want to thank you so much for being here. It's been fabulous. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And again, if you are wanting to watch our smiley faces, you can go to Shedding the Bitch on YouTube, and we will be uploading this episode by tomorrow. So for everybody here in the Shedding the Bitch community, thank you so much, and God bless those that need our prayers and our angels. We're thinking about you. Talk to you soon, everybody.
thank you for listening to Shedding the Bitch Radio with Bernadette Bose. Join Bernadette every Tuesday at noon Eastern as she helps you shift your bitches to riches. And the dialogue is always going on at sheddingthebitch.com. See you next week.